Go Ask Alice, page 194, August 9th. At last, finally and forever, I'm home. Tim and Alex were so glad to see me that I really felt rotten for having messed up so badly all these months. Then, when happiness came up and licked my face and hands, I thought Mother was going to cry, and I was just glad that Gran and Gramps aren't alive to see what's happened. I guess Dad knew how I felt because he was so loving and dear. Dear, dear Dad, he always knows. And after we had all talked for a while, he suggested that I go up and get some sleep, which was really great because I wanted to be completely alone in my own room with my own lovely curtains and my own wallpaper and my own bed and feel my own house all around me with my beautiful, loving family downstairs. I'm so very, very grateful that they don't hate me because in a lot of ways, I hate myself. August 10th. Dear Diary, it's 2 a.m., and I've just had the sweetest feeling I've ever had in my life. I tried to pray again. Actually, I was just trying to thank God for getting me out of there and bringing me home. But then I started to think about Jan and Marcy, and the first time I really wanted God to help them too. I really wanted them to get completely well and not to end up in a mental hospital. Oh, please, God, I hope they do get well. Please help them and help me too. August 12th. Dad has a chance to go back east for 2 weeks to finish a lecture course. Isn't that marvelous? Of course, it isn't marvelous for Dr. Blank, who has had a heart attack, and I really hope he gets better. But anyway, Dad is going to fill in for him at the last minute, and we're all going to stay in their gorgeous house and everything. Isn't that great? August 14th. They only had one double room left in the motel, so Alex and I have one bed and mom and dad have the other, and Tim has to sleep on the floor because they don't even have any more cots left. He doesn't mind though. He says it's like camping out. We're drawing lots to see who gets to use the bathroom first. I was last, but that's okay because I wanted to write in you. Everything would be absolutely perfect if only Joel were here. He is the only good thing missing in our lives, but I guess that would be a little messy, all sharing the same room and bath and us not even married. It might even be more embarrassing if we were, but I won't even let myself think about that. There will absolutely be no more sex in my life until after I have taken a man for better or for worse until death do us part, and then I even think we'll still be together. I just simply can't imagine a just God making people who love each other be single after they get to heaven. Gran and Gramps and Mother and Dad could never possibly be happy unless they were together. I'm sure Gran died because she just couldn't bear being separated. There wasn't a single thing wrong with her except that she didn't want to go on without Gramps. I wonder if Mom ever even kissed another man besides Dad. Oh, I'm sure she did, because Dad sometimes teases her about Humphrey, but I know she wasn't having sex with Humphrey. I don't think many girls did things like that when Mom and Gran were young. I wish things were still like that. I think it would be much easier to be a virgin, marry someone, and then find out what life is all about. I wonder how it will be for me. It might be great because I'm practically a virgin in the sense that I've never had sex except when I've been stoned, and I'm sure without drugs, I'll be scared out of my mind. I just hope I can forget everything that's happened when I finally get married to someone I love. That's a nice, secure thought, isn't it? Going to bed with someone you love. It's my turn in the bathroom, so I gotta go. See ya. August 17th. Well, we're settled. Daddy starts teaching today, and this afternoon we're going to take a look at the town. It was dark when we drove in, but this neighborhood is incredible. Everything is all lush and green and fragrant. I'm so happy we're here. We're all exhausted though because yesterday and the night before, Mom and Dad took turns driving straight through. 2 days and one night of driving put us all a little on edge. And while it was fun and interesting to see parts of the country, we're still glad to be settled. Daddy says we'll take longer to go home and maybe even go by way of Chicago and stop to see Joelle. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'm afraid to even uncross my fingers to eat or write. August 20th. Imagine me at a university tea. And even more startling, imagine me liking it even though it was a little stuffy. I must be growing up. See ya. August 22nd. Well, there will be no more exploring for Wonder Woman. Apparently, I walked into a giant batch of poison ivy yesterday and really did it to myself. There isn't too much of it around, but wouldn't you know who'd find it? I'm swollen and red and itching all over, and my eyes are puffed up and almost closed, and I really look great. The doctor came and gave me a shot, but he doesn't sound too encouraging. Yuck. August 24th. I didn't know PI was so contagious. But now Alex has gotten it off my clothes or something. She isn't as bad as I am, but she's still itchy and uncomfortable. Some people from the university came to find out where I'd run across the clump so they could go out and kill it, but I don't even know what it looks like. August 27th. Hooray, we're going to New York for the weekend. Mom and Tim and Alex and I are taking the train tomorrow and we won't be back until Monday. Isn't that great? All the stores and everything. I can't wait. My PI is down to pink spots and I'm sure my makeup can cover that. I hope. I hope. We're taking the 7:15 train tomorrow and Dad says I can buy a lot of new things for school. Hooray, hooray. August 29th. It's so hot and stuffy in Manhattan, I can't believe it. We're fine as long as we stay in the big stores, but when we're out on the street, it's like walking in a furnace. The heat comes up from the sidewalk in great clouds, and I don't know how the people who live there, stand it. Joelle says it's as bad in Chicago, but I find that hard to believe. Anyway, we spent most of the morning shopping at Bloomingdale's and then went to a movie at Radio City in the afternoon just to get out of the heat. Taking the subway was the biggest mistake we ever made. It was so jammed with humanity that we were tangled like sauerkraut in a jar and smelled just as bad. One fat old woman was hanging on a strap beside me, and her sleeveless dress exposed the most incredible bird's nest under her arm. It was the smelliest sight I witnessed in my life. I hope Tim didn't see it, or he'll probably be turned off women forever. Tomorrow we're going to the Museum of Modern Art and a couple of other places. I don't think we'll stay later on Sunday because Mother is as uncomfortable as we are. September 2nd. We are not going through Chicago after all. They are making staff changes at the university and Dad has got to get back. He offered to go out of his way and make a quick stop in Chicago because he didn't want to let me down. But I can't be that immature. Besides, I'll see Joelle in just a few weeks and we're not engaged or anything. I wish we were. September 4th. Driving all day and almost all night is really a drag. Dad looks absolutely bug eyed, and Alex is squirming all over the place. I really wish I could help with the driving, but Dad says absolutely no driving without a license, which I'm going to get as soon as I can. One more billboard, and I'm going to lose my mind. September 6th. Home at last. Poor Dad has to go over to the university, and I know he is absolutely beat. If I'm as tired as I am at my age, I don't know how he even manages to get one foot in front of the other. Mother is dashing around the house chipper as a little bird, but I guess that is because she's home, home, home. Oh, what a beautiful, wonderful, divinely lovely word. I'm even beginning to feel pretty good myself. Just a few hours ago, none of us thought we could possibly live for even a few more minutes. Now we're all getting our second win. Alex has dashed off to Tricia's to pick up Honey and her kittens and happiness, and Tim is puttering around in his stink room, as Alex calls it, and I'm doing what I love most, just enjoying myself in my own lovely room with my books and all my personal possessions. I just can't decide what to do first. Go play my lovely piano, or stay here and curl up with a lovely book, or take a lovely nap. I think the nap is going to win. September 7th. I met Fawn Blank at the store today, and she invited me to come over tonight and go swimming in her pool. Isn't that lovely? Maybe I can get back in with the straight kids this year, and then the dopey dopers wouldn't dare bother me. Wouldn't that be perfect? Anyway, Fauna and her sister all do water ballet, and I'm not a very good swimmer, but she promised to teach me. I hope I don't drown or fall on my head in the shallow end of the pool. September 10th. I don't know why I have to be so insecure and frightened. I haven't even known Fawn very long, and yet I'm almost jealous of all her other friends. I think they're prettier and smarter, and that no one really wants me around, which is pretty stupid since they keep inviting me over there all the time. I guess I'm just a jerk. I just hope none of them has heard all the rotten stories that went around about me. I really don't know who Jan and Marcy and all those dopey dopers spoke to, but I hope it wasn't the whole school. Oh, I hope I'm not going to be hurt again. I wonder if all girls are as timid as I am. If I think a boy might ask me out, I'm scared to death he won't. And if he actually does, then I'm afraid to go. Last night, we were all swimming, and a carload of boys drove up, and Fawn's father, who's really nice, asked them to come in and have some punch. So we all clowned around for a while and then turned the hose on the patio and danced on the wet cement. It was fun. And I guess I looked pretty cute because Frank Blank asked me out. Actually, he wanted to take me home, but I wanted to stay and help Fawn clean up. But I guess the truth is, I just don't feel myself around boys anymore. Mother says it's just because I feel frightened and unsure again, and I hope she's right. I do hope she's right. September 11th. Fawn called up the next first thing this morning. She wants to have a party next Friday and invite boys. I'm going over there this afternoon to help her plan it, but I really would rather not get involved. Wally asked her out last night too, and she's going to the movies with him tonight. I sort of wish she wouldn't. I don't know why I worry about her. She's a few months older than I am, but I just think boys are the root of most problems. At least they've been at the root of most of mine, which is probably a big lie. Anyway, this morning I was reading an article on identity and responsibility, and it said that kids who aren't allowed to make any decisions for themselves never grow up, and kids who have to make all the decisions before they're ready never grow up either. I don't think I fall into either category, but it's an interesting idea. See ya.